So good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our Acing Awards applications webinar. Absolutely delighted that we are running this event today. I am just going to do my radio DJ bit just for a minute or so because I can see the room is filling up beautifully with all our attendees. We had a great response to our webinar today, so it's going to be really, really good to be able to shout more about the Thames Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Awards for this year, but also introduce our fabulous team at Evil Empire Marketing, who are going to help me out today with immense wisdom and knowledge about how to ace your awards application. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Sarah Irving. I'm Head of Business Engagement and Communications here at Thames Valley Chamber of Commerce. For those of you who came to our awards launch at the beginning of March, I was the very excited person at the front because, as I said in our presentation, we love our Chamber Awards. It's one of our favourite events that we do out of the 150 odd events we do every year. And we're fully back into awards season. The awards have been open for just coming up to a month now. And you have until the end of April to get your application in. But judging by the amount of people who have signed up today, I think everyone's looking for top tips on how to get a winning application. So as I said, I'm joined by the fantastic Sarah and Ben from Evil Empire Marketing, who are going to talk us through how to actually get that awards application in. We are recording this webinar, so it'll be available afterwards for people to watch on demand. So if you miss anything, don't panic. You'll be able to relive it as and when you need to, and share with colleagues to get that top awards entry in. So just as a reminder about the Thames Valley Chamber Business Awards, as I said, awards are open and you have until the 30th of April to get your application in. So we're nearly into April. We start tomorrow for those ones who got done by the clocks yesterday. So you have the whole of April to finalise that award entry and get it in. And just some reminders about our awards. Our awards are open to all businesses in Berkshire, Buckinghamshire, Oxfordshire and Swindon. So the whole of the Thames Valley region. You do not have to be a chamber member to enter. The awards are open to non-members as well. Our awards are free to enter, and you can enter more than one category. So if you're having problems deciding which category you want to enter, don't panic. You can enter more than one. And entry is done on an online platform called Awards Force, which the Chamber and in fact the Chamber Network has been using for many years now. We love Awards Force. It's really easy to enter. It's really easy to use. You can start your entry. You can save it, come back to it another day. You can get colleagues to collaborate with you on it. And for those of you who have entered our awards before, if you have in previous years, when you log back in again, your previous entry, whether you submitted or not, or whether you just started it and ran out of time, or fact that the year just wasn't yours, but this year is, everything will be there saved for you. So it's really easy to use. I'm going to recap that all at the end, and we'll probably touch on various things during the presentation. But without further ado, allow me to pass over to the expertise that is Ben and Sarah. Ben and Sarah, are you there?
We are indeed.
Hello.
Brilliant.
Hi. Can you hear us? Can you see us?
I can.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Sarah, for that intro. And hi, everybody. Welcome to our little presentation that we put together for you guys. Ace your awards application. So just going to go into a little bit about who we are and what we do, if you don't know already. Hopefully there's some of you out there that I do know. Hello. So basically this is who we are. This is our team here at Evil Empire. We are a full service marketing agency. So we specialise in strategy, analytics, all the videography, photography, all the kind of normal things you would expect with marketing. But we're a really, really great, really experienced little team. And we're very, very good at writing. Well, Ben is very, very good at writing awards applications. Jess is amazing on the design work, the supporting documents and things like that. So we've been very, very successful with our clients getting finalist positions for them, winning slots, you know, over the years. So awards has been something that our clients have come to us and sort of said, we really want to do. And we've carved out a little bit of a niche in that, I think, to be fair. But yeah, I'll hand you over to Ben so he can tell you about what he does.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Ben, the copywriter and marketing lead at Evil Empire. I've got a background in local journalism, communications, PR and marketing. and I've worked in-house for agencies, worked for charities, worked for corporates. I've got lots of experience, and over the years, 20 years, I've been doing this sort of thing. I've been entering lots of awards for different clients in different sectors, with very good success rates as well. So hopefully with Evil Empire team as well, we've, like Sarah says, have carved out a niche, and we're pretty good now, I would like to say, at helping people with their award applications. So yeah, so Sarah, do you want to get us started? Or no, clients?
Yeah, these are just a few of our clients on here, not all of them, but a few of them we put on there that we've just recently Gardner Haskins, literally last week, wasn't it, won Bristol Life Award.
Homes and Interiors Award.
Interiors. So we're really proud of them. Cultivators got finalists a couple of weeks ago in the Southwest Business Awards. So did TWC Home Improvements. They got finalists in 3 different categories. So yeah, we're very proud of what we do. Is this nice?
Well, yeah, we're going to do a bit of interactivity here. Hopefully everyone can see on the screen a lovely QR code. If you can get your phones out and click through on the QR code, it goes to somewhere called Mentimeter, which will ask you 3 simple questions about awards applications. It's all completely anonymous, so you can answer as honestly as you want. It's nothing too contentious. There are 3 questions. What categories? When was the last time you entered an award? What's your biggest barrier to entering awards? So if you'd like to click through on that link and then just put in any answers that you like, and then we can come back to the discussion points later and address some of those answers.
Yeah, just fill that out at your leisure as we go. So, entering awards. So why do you do it? A lot of our clients, I get a lot of clients sort of saying to me, oh, I don't want to sound like award winning or all that. I do get a lot of clients saying, I do want to be award winning. So there's sort of various reasons why you should enter, but you know, we always say to our clients, it's definitely, you know, you can use the award winning phrase, but it really does open out to lots of kind of PR opportunities, speaking opportunities as well. So for example, if you think about when you're at the awards ceremony, if you're getting up on stage, having a little speech on there, or you've got inclusion in some of the promotional materials that they've got on the tables, you know, you've got a whole massive room there of brand new clients. I don't know, Sarah will probably let us know how many people come to the awards ceremony, but if you think about it, that's a whole room of sitting ducks that you're talking to, and who are they going to want to talk to? They're going to want to talk to the finalists. They're going to want to talk to the shortlisted people. They're going to want to talk to the people that they perhaps didn't know weren't on their radar. So but it's a great opportunity to network, meet new clients, showcase your industry expertise, potentially get out to a whole new audience as well. And then we always say, you know, at least a year of talking about it until the next awards. And you might also want to think about vertical markets as well. So we had a client, for example, who they specialize in websites for charities. So instead of going up for website awards, they went into a charity, like a national charity award, where they got a finalist position in the digital section. So you could think about your target verticals there as well, and perhaps look at any awards that are happening in those markets that perhaps you might have a chance with in the categories.
Okay, so there are loads of different award schemes out there, as you probably know. They're not all created equal. Some cost a lot of money to enter and to go to the actual award ceremonies. Some, like the TVCC ones, are free to enter. So it's worth doing a lot of research right from the outset about what awards mean the most to you, what awards mean the most to your business, what awards will mean the most to your customers, and then weigh up that return on investment. If you do have to pay to enter these awards, are you going to get that ROI? So there's no definitive list of what's good and what's bad. But like I say, the important thing is to do that research specifically for your business. Think about whether you want local, regional, or national coverage. If you were, for example, a local garden centre based in Swindon, would national coverage, although it'd be great, would it be worth that for your target audience, or is it more regional, local audience that you want to reach out to? And that's a question for you, whether that's worth your time and effort going for those bigger national awards where there's a lot of competition. There's also awards that will get you new clients, like Sarah was saying, in the verticals markets. You know, which other target areas do you want to break into? It's a chance to showcase your expertise, and there are opportunities also for sponsorship. If you can't find an award that fits in to a vertical for you, and you really want to be involved, you could always reach out to that award scheme and say, you know, what are the opportunities for sponsorships. That's something else to consider. But today we're really talking about, you know, how to ace the application. So I think we're going to go back to Mentimeter now, so we can see what some of your answers to our questions are.
Jeff wants to know what we found out. So hopefully everyone's had a chance to fill that in. I'm just going to test the technology and click through now, and hopefully there'll be lots of things in here. And Mentimeter. Oh yeah, here we go. Lovely. Hopefully everyone can see that. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Obviously this is Ben, most handsome team member at Evil Empire.
That's what I'm going for. I'm up against,
he's fighting it out with Taylor.
I'm up against Taylor, who's 20 years younger than me and has better hair. So,
okay, these are really interesting. Sarah, you've got this as well, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I mean, the one that kind of jumped out to me, apologies to the person, there doesn't seem to be any awards we're eligible to enter.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
That is an interesting
Sad
one.
face. Don't
I
be
don't
sad.
like-
There'll definitely be an award.
I mean, there has to be. I mean, we've got Small Business of the Year, SME Business of the Year, most, you know, and Large and Multi. So you should fit into one of those. But whoever that was, drop me a line, and because I'm sure there's one we can slot. But it's also great to see that for those eager people who have entered our awards before, you'll see we've got some new categories this year, and it's great to see the commitment to skills one listed quite a few times there, because that's a new one for us this year. As is the Rising Star of the Year, which has been already a popular one. So that's good to see.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. There's quite a lot of people that have never entered. Well, quite a lot. 4 people that have not entered awards in the past year. So quite a lot of people that are entering.
I think, just going back up, sorry, just go back up. There's a lot of people who are interested in the community elements, which is really interesting. It's really interesting because that's a great time to take stock of your business and the good things that you're doing. And you're probably doing more than you actually think you are. To pull it all together and just take stock of that, I think that's really good, not just for you to understand it fully, but also for your team and for your clients to understand what you are doing out there with the community. They're quite competitive categories, but if you can tell that story articulately from start to finish, all the good things that you've done, you're doing, and you're going to do in the future, I think, you know, you can put together, in most cases, a very sort of comprehensive argument, and I think it's a great award to win.
We get it a lot actually with our clients where we have just had it recently, haven't we? Where we're at the awards and they go, oh, and we did that and we forgot to tell you about it. So we get it quite a lot. So it's really, I think a lot of the time businesses, you're busy, you're doing stuff, and you're like, you do this thing over here and you do that thing over there, and then you just think, oh my God, I you know, you say, oh, we did raise that for charity and did that, but then there's a whole load of other stuff that sometimes you don't always remember. So you really have to dig deep and think about what you've done over the past year.
There's one here as well that just says an award, and I love that because you can see the value. You can see the value in getting an award, but you're not maybe too fussed about which one it would be. But that's a good opportunity to have a look through all the categories and see where you're going to have the strongest application. With the TVCC ones, you can I think 3 of the answers are standard across the categories. So actually, if you entered one, then you've done half the work for another category anyway. So we'll come back to these points later, but I like that enthusiasm for just an award.
I love that.
Maybe more.
That's good. So some barriers here to entry as well. There's so much competition. How do we stand out? That's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's a question that we come up against quite often. I think we're generally quite honest with our clients if we feel that they haven't got the strongest application. I'm not saying that we would tell them not to go for it, but there might be other categories that they haven't thought about, or other award schemes they haven't thought about, that they would stand a better chance in as well. So yeah, I mean, how do we stand out? Like I said, I think it's that storytelling. It's almost tapping into my PR background. The who, what, when, why, where, how, what, when. You know, answer all of those questions a bit more articulately than I said them. and you know, really pull that story together and make it concise and punchy. What else have we got?
There's a couple here around sort of confidence and sort of nerves and things as well. And I think with those with that, it can be you know, I feel it myself, you know, and I think, oh my God, I can't possibly enter that award. And then, but I think what you need to do if you're feeling that is actually write down a list of everything you've achieved, not just over the past year, but since you started your business. Write it down, really dig deep, really think, and then I think you'll find that you know, confidence will grow and the nerves will go away. So that's my advice on that bit. Any others that you like on it?
It says proof, and to me as a copywriter, that's about proofreading, but I think it's probably aiming more at the evidence. How can you back up those claims? Not all claims are quantifiable, but if you can put you know, comprehensive arguments forward and, you know, evidence that you have done things, I think you know, you might not have the stats always to back it up, but if you can show some Google reviews, or you can show some client testimonials or case studies, I think that sort of thing. So that's quite an interesting one.
I'm going to take this one with the cost of attending awards ceremonies, because that I'm gonna myth bust that in that actually one of our clients just recently chose to have the awards ceremony as a treat for their team. So they got everybody in there and, you know, bought a table and put it down as sort of like a bit of more of a team building kind of thing, you know, treated them all to dinner and drinks, and it was, you know, everybody had a lovely time. And often there's, you know, dancing, speakers, that kind of thing. And a lot of the time with these awards, you get a bit of a sort of motivational speaker as well, so that can really boost your team. And the cost as well, it's networking, you know, you can't put a price on that. Who's going to be in that room? You can clearly see who's going to be in that room when you look at the sponsors, when you look at the people who've entered, and you can be tactical about it, you know, and sort of say, well, actually all those people are attending, what if I got a conversation with them? How could you flip that round? So I think with the cost of attending, I mean, of course, if it's thousands and thousands of pounds, but you know, the Thames Valley Chamber one isn't generally a great night. Not that I've been, and I'm looking forward to going this one. But I think, you know, award ceremonies definitely are worth their weight in gold if you sort of flip it round and look at it from that kind of angle.
Yeah, there's also the post publicity that you get from the award people that run the awards as well. You know, there'll be pictures on social media. There'll be, you know, lots of emails flying around listing people who were there, and lots of nice photographs and stuff. So I think it's a great opportunity to get out, network, and like Sarah said, I think it is a nice treat for a lot of teams as well. So yeah, they can be costly if it's just you going with one other person and you're not really into the networking. It can be a bit tricky, but they're not all like that. There are award schemes out there that some are black tie, some are very informal. So there'll be something out there to suit you, but it's just digging around and finding the ones that sort of fit with your style.
This is quite interesting as well, sort of saying actually completing the awards application is not business critical.
Right.
That's an interesting one, because actually I think maybe we could do a bit of a duo on that one, because I've got a couple of opinions on it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think taking the point on time, because a few people refer to time there, it's anything worth doing is worth investing some time in. What I would say about awards is it's kind of front loaded, really. Like once you've written one or two award applications, you've probably got all of the answers there. And with a few tweaks, month on month, year on year, you can get there. So it won't take as much time the second, third, fourth times. So I think that investment in time is worth it. If you're serious about winning an award, obviously you're going to need to put some effort in, and that time isn't just writing it, it's also doing the research, speaking to your team, finding out every little thing that you can include to give you the best chance of winning it.
We're going to go into that in some of the other slides as well. So we're going to build on that point, because I think it can often be seen like that, but we're going to show you how creating this awards application opens doors to all sorts of other things as well. So do you think we're done on this one?
I think so. Yep.
What do you think? Is there anything you wanted to cover, Sarah?
No, it's really interesting to hear different points from everybody, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Thank you, everyone that's participated. Jeff, we'll leave you alone.
See you, Jeff.
See you, Jeff. Right. Where are we now?
We are on acing the application. So this is the crux of why we're here really. So yeah, categories. That's the key thing. You can't be trying to shoehorn yourself into a category. Sarah and Sarah and I were chatting earlier, joking about, a sole trader trying to get into an SME category. If you've got an idea about where your business is, and you've got an idea of the audience you want to get to, you'll find a category that's right for you. Don't try and shoehorn yourself into best shop if you've got a solicitor's office in the middle of town. It's not going to work in that category. So don't try and shoehorn yourself in. The judges are going to see right through it. You're going to be up against stiff competition. It's not worth your time to try and really get into a category that isn't right for you. If it's based on a timeline, if it's based on past years, start with a timeline. Literally go through your financial year or a year from when the last awards were, and figure out everything that you've done. Jot down everything, even if you feel that you're going to disregard it in a couple of weeks' time. Just put everything down on paper and everything down into a Word document. Make your timeline, and that will help you to tell the story of your year and everything that you've done, everything that you've done for the community, everything you've done as a business, everything you've done for your clients, for your team.
I think just on that point as well, it's worth thinking about stuff you've done prior to that, because again, like we were saying before, where some of our clients have gone, oh, we forgot we did that. Sometimes if you go a bit further back, it can jog your memory on other things that you've done as well. So have a good timeline, but you might want to go a little bit further back as well, potentially.
Yeah. Obviously with Mentimeter, a lot of people are saying community awards. I think that's, like I say, it's a great category to go for. But if you're going to enter that as well, make sure that your CSR strategy is up to scratch. Donating £50 to a local school is nice, but what else are you doing? You need to be really evidencing that it's not about the amount of money that you're giving, but it's showing that you are giving what you can, whether that's time, whether that's pro bono support, whether that's donations of kit or money. So think about those things as well. Speaking to your teams is really vital to get some of that data. Put emails out to all of your team just to find out what they might think about, things that they may have done or support that they may have offered, or achievements they may have got that may have slipped past your radar. Make sure you get that onto your timeline. And then it's about telling that story. Like I say, it's about bringing it to life. It's about your voice. It's about, if you met someone on the street and they said to you, tell me about your business, why is it so good? How would you actually articulate that to them? You'd probably give them a bit of a potted history and tell them about all of the good things that you've done in the past, that you're doing in the present, and where you'd like to be in the future. You've really got to bring that to life for the judges. And my final point on this slide is that word counts. So I'm not saying you have to hit a word count. If you've told your story in 350 words and the word count's 500, there's no point in waffling on for 150 words just for the sake of it. If anything, it's probably just going to annoy the judges slightly because there's more to read but no substantial content behind it. So try and stick to them where they can, particularly those smaller ones. You might have, in some award applications, you have 30 words to describe your business, and that's a really interesting one because sometimes people, when they describe their business on their website, will use 50, 100 words, and actually trying to whittle that down into those core services and things they provide and products they provide is really interesting. So just keep an eye on the word counts and make sure that you're hitting them.
Facts and figures.
Facts and figures.
Wow.
Well, you can talk about facts and figures.
Talk about facts and figures. I love that. Data's. I
data.
really like data. Yeah. I think that it's always worth, if you can grab any data out of anything, to bolster up your claims, even if it's just you can get some great data just out of Meta, out of your social media statistics. If you've got that, LinkedIn, anything, this many people are looking at it, that these are the sort of key kind of markets that we go for, this is who we're targeting, that kind of thing. So any data that you can pull out, any facts, figures, 100% of people loved our service, or anything that you can get out of any of your perhaps back-end systems, that kind of thing would be really helpful. If you can get any facts and figures from your clients. So if you've got a product or service and it's really making a difference to one of your clients, you know, and it's improved their ROI by 50%, whatever that is, you know, whatever stats you can get in there to kind of prove those key points that you're making will be invaluable.
Yeah, and if you've got Google reviews and testimonials and bits like that, you know, screen grab them, screen grab your best ones, and you can always chuck those into supporting documents as well, you know, as part of that evidence. I think that's really good.
Yeah, we put a lot of those in
yeah.
case studies as well. If you've got any of those online, you can link out those, sort of that real kind of social proof.
Yeah,
it's always great.
And just going back to the tell your story bit, there's always going to be a section like tell us about your organization. That's a general category that comes through in most awards, and that's probably the ones that we've done recently are probably around 400 to 500 words, something like that. And to tell your story, like I sort of alluded to earlier, think about the who, what, when, why, and how. Those 5 questions should really answer everything you do. And then streamline next to that is your key messages. What are the key messages about your business? What makes you different? What do you do that makes you good? An example of excellence. And weave those two together and you'll have a really nice, compelling story for the judges.
Cool. Next one on acing applications.
Sorry, just going back to my notes. Okay. Yeah, copy the questions in the word count and write your answers in a Word doc and save as you go. So this doesn't apply to the Thames Valley one, because actually that awards force saves it as you go. So you don't need to worry about that. But not all award application sites do. Some ask you to upload a document with all the questions on it, and some ask you to just do them then and there on the site. So I would always have a separate document with your question, your word count, so you can write your content in there, proof it, refine it, make sure you're hitting the word counts. Just save it as you go. Once you're happy with it, you can then cut and paste it into your application. AI. I mean, we're gonna mention AI at some point, aren't we? Sarah and I do not like AI. It's coming for all of us, but actually we're managing to fend it off at the moment, because I think what people are realizing is actually AI writes in a certain way and you can kind of see through it. And I think judges are going to increasingly look out for someone who's used AI to write an awards application. There's lots of telltale signs, particularly on social media. You've probably seen rocket emojis, certain words like streamline and elevate, insightful words. Yeah. So try and use your voice. Try and find your inner voice. You're the person that you're speaking to in the street, and come across as a human, as a real person, and talking positively about your business. But you can use AI to support you. So in a sort of admin sort of role, you can get it to proof some of your work. It's not great at proofing, but it might flag up things that sort of don't make sense and offer suggestions for rewording. And you can sometimes sense check it. So if you put a paragraph together and you kind of, does this flow? Is there a better order to it? You can use it for doing that if you're not very confident with your writing. So you can do that, but I wouldn't use it ever as a blanket copy and paste. You're going to end up feeding as much information into it as you're getting back. So it's going to take that time anyway. So you'll be better off giving it a go yourself. Editing and proofing. We have Grammarly that we use. Again, I don't take all of its suggestions on board. It is quite formulaic in the way that it writes. But if you're not 100% confident with writing and proofing, Grammarly is a good free tool that you can download as an app, and it will give you hints and tips as you go along.
Yeah, we're mainly saying that one for punctuation, isn't it?
Yeah.
And any kind of, I'm really good at form and from. I keep getting that wrong all the time. So any kind of things like that you've put in. So just that, not the real heavy stuff that is suggested.
And with both things, ChatGPT, Grammarly, just use a bit of sense. Just think about what it's suggesting and make sure that doesn't change the context of what you're writing.
Mm-hmm.
Another good idea is to find a good friend to take an objective look at your application. So someone in business might be quite good, someone that you know, or someone that's just quite handy at writing and might be able to offer you some support. So get someone to have an objective look, because you're going to be so close to it. You're going to know what you're talking about, but have you missed a vital piece of information somewhere along the line? Just going to dial it back slightly to the proofing. Another thing that I do on Word is I use the read aloud function, which is really, really handy. When I've written out my piece, I can sit there and just sit back with a cup of tea, have a listen, and sometimes your ears will pick up something that your eyes haven't seen, so that's quite useful as well. And then supporting docs, images, videos, testimonials. This is actually quite key.
It's
isn't it?
really, really, really key.
This is really important because you can't always get everything you want to say into the word counts or shoehorned into the questions that have been asked. But most award applications these days ask for some supporting evidence. That might be a 2-page PDF. It might be something else. It might be pictures, videos, whatever. We always tend to send PDFs that we design up with as much extra stuff as we can chuck in there. It's kind of like the leftovers the next day. It's like bubble and squeak of the market. We put everything that we can put into there. So for example, if they ask in the questions for free testimonials or reviews, if we've got an extra 5 that are really good, we can chuck those into that supporting document. We can also put case studies from clients in there. We can link through to videos in case the judges have got time. I mean, the judges will have a lot to go through, but the more that you can put into these supporting docs will give you a better chance, I think.
Yeah, they are so key. The amount of people I speak to that say, oh, you know, we just wanted to get the application out there. We just wrote the words, sent it, you know, we haven't got time to do the supporting docs. Please make the time to do the supporting docs because they're super important. If you think about it, put yourself in the judge's shoes. You know, if they're reading, it can be a bit deaf by text on these things, and you know they're reading all this text, and perhaps, you know, especially if Ben's saying if you're entering the awards and you know text, grammar, all of that isn't your strong point, then you can bring things to life with just a lovely like montage of photos, you know, links to your case studies on your website, you know, like Ben was saying, testimonials as well. If you wanted to do we've done before sort of timelines for clients as well, you know, like, hey, we started in 2001 and now we're, you know, so you can do like a really nice timeline of the year or since you started. There's so many things you can do, and Canva can really support you there with great templates that you can look at as well.
Yeah.
And just sort of fill in, change into your brand colors and stuff. So please always do the supporting docs.
Yeah, definitely. And one more thing I want to say on this is that in terms of acing the application, just remember that awards are examples of excellence. So what makes your organization excellent? That might be your team, it might be your products or your services, it might be everything together. But it's no time to be humble about anything. You're in it to win an award. If you don't get it, your competitor's going to get it. So you've really got to just throw everything at it and don't be humble. Just organize all of the best parts about your business in a structured way, and you'll be in with a really good show.
Sorry, just to add from me, I love what you've just said about the supporting documents. For each category, you can have up to 5 supporting documents.
Oh,
Great.
Brilliant.
So
Excellent.
There's loads of opportunities.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. Is this my slide?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Sorry,
I carried
we're
away
using two
talking.
screens.
Yeah,
This has been amazing. So so this is a really key one for me as well, because I get a lot of people saying, oh well, you know, if we don't win, what's the point? Well, actually, it's really amazing to get just shortlisted or a finalist position. You know, like we're saying here, you kind of won already. You know, and then if you go on to win, amazing. But actually, just getting those shortlisting and finalist positions, they're not. You know, it's not everyone gets it. You know, it really is an amazing achievement if you've made the judges sit up and take notice, and it's something you can absolutely shout about over your social media. You know, we're saying like email signatures and things, because obviously for the Thames Valley Chamber, you'll be given sort of logos to use and things like that. You can write blogs about it. Obviously, turn up on awards night. Always have a little look at that guest list as well, like I was saying before, for potential networking opportunities or collaborations that you think, oh, we really need to speak to that company. Perhaps we could do this together. And then with the stats, it's really worth looking at the stats as well. So say, for example, you know, there's 100 people entered, you know, 10 people got shortlisted, you're one of them, you know, you've got those kind of, you can then say, you know, in
the top 10%.
You can say you're in the top 10%, exactly. So, and especially if it's if it's a specific category as well, you know, if it's like best greengrocer or something, you know, and you've got the whole of Wiltshire, you could say, well, we're in the top 3 greengrocers in the whole of Wiltshire, something like that. So there's always kind of stats that you can use around it to sort of work your marketing as well, around those kind of finalist and shortlist.
Yeah, you can also feed the shortlisting and finalist bit into any PR that you might have going out. I think in itself it's probably not the story, but if you were sending out any PR that you were doing an event, or you've just appointed a new team member or something like that, you can always say, and have recently been shortlisted in the whichever.
Do you know what? Actually, I was going to tell you about. We just had a client that's had exactly the same. They've been shortlisted, and they're like, "Can we do PR on this?" And I'm like, "Just on the shortlisting," but they've got other stuff to talk about. And yeah, it's exactly what all of the good information that we want to feed in that helps you boost up that press release. And again, get the journalists to take notice and go, oh, they've got quite a lot to talk about here. Let's feature this for them.
Yeah.
So next one, making the most of your win. So this is what we were alluding to when we were doing discussing the Mentimeter, it's easy for me to say, before. This is the kind of thing that we were alluding to when we've got the sort of barriers to entry with the time piece. So what you can actually do with this awards application, like Ben was saying before, it's a really good chance to sort of take stock and use it to fuel so many other areas of your business. So once you've done this, once you've spent the time and effort doing it, pulling everything together, you can use it to fuel all of these kind of things in here. So, your content for your newsletters, tenders, even, social media, you'll pull all sorts of interesting things out of your business that you think, well, I could run a campaign around that. Or do you know what? We didn't shout about that on social media enough. Let's talk about this. If you win, you've got to use, you can use the term award winning if you like to do that. Some do, some don't. You can put that on email signatures. You've got your whole awards night piece as well. So definitely always think about what you might say if you win and you get up on stage, and what you're going to say about your business, about your win. If you can get a piece in there as well, to stand up in front of everyone and go, we're great, come and talk to us, we're on that table over there. You'll probably find you pull out so much content that you think, well, this is going to fuel a marketing strategy for quite a few months, if not a year.
Like you say, it's taking stock, isn't it? Like, you guys are running businesses. It's so hard to actually take that time to sit back and kind of think, what are the great things that we've done in the past 12 months? So this gives you that opportunity to do that. And like I say, that can, transpire to lots of other things as well. Actually, if we flick onto the next slide, because it all ties in together. This is about getting the best return on investment for you. So yes, it is an investment of time and or money, or both. But once you've written an application, you can repurpose that application for other awards with minimal tweaks here and there. You should have all of the content really that then you can put into other award schemes. As Sarah said, you've got marketing and social media strategy content. You've got loads of stuff there that you can talk about your donation to a local primary school, or the fact that you give your team members half a day off a month to go and do something for charities. Anything like that is great. It's kind of repeating a little bit about what we've already said in the last slide, I think, but internal newsletters, impact reports, those sort of things. Impact reports is a good one. One of our clients has just pulled together one of those. Yeah, and if you work for a charity, then I think impact reports are always really important for your clientele. So that's it can be using that, and stakeholder updates as well. Sorry.
But I was just going back to the Mentimeter, where there were a lot of people saying they were going to go into the sort of the commitment to the community, with that whole impact report piece. Those kind of things aren't just for charities. When you're scanning all of that great stuff that you're doing for your teams, for the local community, whatever that is, what's to stop you producing a really nice infographic on that and putting that out there, using that to fuel a press release, or your online kind of outreach strategy as well.
And you can show that to stakeholders or potential investors to evidence what great stuff you're doing again. So I think it's all really useful stuff.
And to attracting talent as well. At the end of the day, I think
that's a really good point, isn't it? There's a lot of competition out there for the best talents. People generally these days want to work somewhere that can show examples of excellence, whether that's excellence in services or products, or excellence in community support. So actually, if you can answer those questions as much as you asking them questions, I think that's really useful, and it might help you to attract some of the best talent in the area. Okay, do's
Right.
and don'ts. Right, don't, and I'm watching you. Don't use AI to write it. Okay, we talked about that. You can use AI as a sort of co-pilot type thing to kind of help you, but you don't rely on it to write your applications. I think it would probably put you on the back foot. Don't use hyperbole, exaggeration, or superfluous language. Just kind of keep it clear and concise. If you say that you're the best garden centre in Swindon, just evidence it with Google reviews. You can say those sort of things, but you can't just say it without any evidence behind it. You've got to back things up. Don't bribe the judges. Well, I don't know, Sarah, what do you think? Sarah's gone
Well, I
quiet.
mean, I couldn't possibly comment. In all seriousness, we can't actually be bribed because Awards Force is such a fantastic platform
Well, there you go.
to enable that judging to be remote that we have. Unfortunately, for me, no, we have no say on, which is lovely. It's because
So no
it's
problem.
genuinely a surprise when and excitement for us when we can see the winners.
Yes, yeah, great. Yeah, so do not even think about bribing the judges. It won't work well. So do back up all your statements with evidence. Use all the supporting docs that you can. Use those opportunities where you can to put as much information in there as possible. It's like a sandwich, isn't it? The more you put in a sandwich, the better it's going to be. So just think of your awards application as a sandwich. Just chuck it all in there. And this is a good point that Sarah said to me. It's like, have a speech ready, because if you are a finalist and if you win that award, you don't want to be stuttering and thinking about what are those key messages you're getting across to that captive audience. You need to know what you're going to say. It sounds a bit presumptuous, but actually having that clear in your head will help you to articulate when you're networking as well what your business does, why it's excellent, and why you should have that award. And proof your work. Yes, as we mentioned, you can use Grammarly, use the read aloud function on Word or similar.
Oh, we're good.
And I think that's the end of us talking.
Yeah, that's
you.
it. That's the end of us talking at you.
Oh.
Yeah, we've got the older Q&A session now. I think we're good. We were hoping we'd land at about 1:45, a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Look at that. Perfect. Thank you both so much. Some fantastic insights in that. Some really fantastic takeaways for everybody. I have been busy answering some of the Q&As that have been coming into the Q&A box. So if anyone's got any more, do pop them up on that. I mean, I don't know if everyone can see them, but it was things like what format can the additional documents be in? Can they be PDFs or JPEGs? Absolutely fine. A few people have asked about criteria. Obviously you can't enter the SME Business of the Year if you're not an SME. Categories such as the most promising new business, you have to be within the first 3 years of operation. The Rising Star is a new one, as I said, it's one of the new categories this year, and that's to really recognise someone in your organisation who is just out there doing some absolutely fantastic stuff. Commitment for skills is not necessarily for an education provider or a college or university. It's about, what L&D stuff is going on within your business. If you're out there with a real, attribute towards what you're doing in the skills agenda, things like that. And we've got another question in. How many categories? So you can enter more than one. There are 12 categories in total. And you are very, very well to enter as many as you like. Apart from the sponsors, they can't enter their own categories, obviously. But yeah, many categories as you wish that you can enter. So we tend to find some people maybe like 2 or 3 sometimes, because they can, Employee of the Year can sometimes, they'll also apply for SME Business of the Year or and on the website it says no written doc, so you can, if you've got a written testimonial, just save it as a JPEG and just add that as an attachment. Save it as an image and add it as an image rather than a written testimonial. So that's that. But yeah, some really good, Awards Force is great. And as I said, just you've got about a month to get that application in. We wish you all the very best of luck. Thank you so much to, we've got some more. Okay. Okay, thank you, Karen. We'll take that on board. Some people couldn't use their phones, so for the link at the beginning, so look at accessibility. No, absolutely, we take that on board. Thank you, Karen. It's been lovely to see everybody. As I said, we are recording this. A quick shout out. It would not be fair of me not to mention all our wonderful sponsors that we have this year. So a big shout out to Bucks New Uni, who are sponsoring the Commitment to the Community. Employer of the Year being sponsored by IBB Law. Heathrow are sponsoring our International Trade Business of the Year. A shout out to the lovely team at Accolades Green, who are sponsoring Most Promising New Business. MHA are doing the Multinational Large Business of the Year, another new category for this year. Cybercrowd, who were winners last year, have snapped up one of our new categories, which is Rising Star of the Year. They're our sponsors for that this year. James Cooper Creston are one of our longest standing sponsors. They are once again SME's Business of the Year sponsors. And a shout out to Fidelity Energy. A lot of you know our lovely friends at Fidelity who sponsored the awards launch, and they are our drinks sponsors launch as drinks sponsors reception at the event as well, which is being held on the 2nd of July at East Hampstead Park. And we look forward to seeing you all there and celebrating. There are a few category sponsorship opportunities available. Give me a shout if you'd like to have a chat about that. But it just goes me to say thank you so much, Sarah and Ben. That was just wonderful. Even I was writing notes. I'm thinking I'm not even entering, but I'm writing notes. It was really good. Thank you so much. It's the first time that we've done something like this, but I think it's been really, really handy.
And I think if anybody wants to email us, link in with us, ask us questions, just fire them over. You know, sometimes you go away from these things and think, oh, I should have asked that. Just pop us an email.
Lovely.
And thank you for having us, Sarah.
Yes.
Oh my God,
so
my
much.
pleasure. It's been really, really good, and I will get this downloaded and sent out to all the participants afterwards, and it will be up on the awards page on the website as well, so you can all refer back to it. But thank you very much. Look at that. Fantastic. Thank you all for all the questions. Lovely to see you all, and good luck with your entries. Look forward to seeing you all on the 2nd of July. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye. Bye, bye, bye.